What's up, carnivores? Zach here with American Smoke, and today I want to tell you all about something that has really been a big inspiration to me lately. This is sort of off the beaten path for me as far as what I talk to you guys about, but y'all know that I'm consistently working to become a better barbecue pitmaster, to learn more about the art and the techniques that create great barbecue so that I can share them with you here on the channel. And in my quest for knowledge, I come across this book right here, Franklin Barbecue, a Meat-Smoking Manifesto. And if you know anything about barbecue and the world of barbecue and the world of great barbecue, then you have probably come across the name Aaron Franklin a time or two. This guy is a legend, especially in the world of brisket. He focuses primarily on Texas style barbecue, which is beautifully simplistic in nature. It also is just incredibly delicious. I listened to this thing first. I listened to it twice on audiobook, and I thought, man, there's so many tips, so much information in the book that, you know, I need to make sure that I have got the book to thumb through. And I've thumbed through it a decent amount and just sort of went over a few things. It goes all the way from Aaron Franklin's story of how he got started just trying to cook a brisket for some friends at a get-together on a little $100 grill. You know, you've seen these at Academy Sports or Lowe's or Walmart. You know, it's just the little drum that's made of the super thin sheet metal that barely holds heat. And that's how he started learning how to make briskets and to cook barbecue. He doesn't have a whole lot of history with barbecue before that. His parents did for a short time run a barbecue joint, but he said he never did learn too much there about it. You learn that part of his history. He goes into what taught him what and what helped him to develop the techniques that have made him a world-class barbecue pitmaster. His restaurant in Texas, literally at like 6 in the morning or earlier, has a line that goes all the way down the block, and they sell out of meat every single day. Every day. Thousands of pounds of barbecue just gone. If that tells you anything about how good it is, that means that if you're looking to somebody to learn from me, because I'm learning from him. But maybe even get this book and you can learn from him, and then you'll know a little bit more about some of the things that I'm talking about when I'm teaching barbecue in my videos. In this book, he goes over all of the qualifications that he looks for that helps him to create his final end product. And that goes all the way from the science behind the meat, what makes it higher quality, what makes it lower quality, what happens at a cellular level as it cooks, all the way from, you know, initial forming of the bark through the Maillard reaction, all the way through the stall and what causes that, things you can do to avoid things like that. He goes into what he uses to choose his wood. Now, if you came to my channel using a pellet grill, then these won't matter to you quite as much, but man, it definitely sparked something in me, made me want to get me an offset stick burner and get into that life a little bit eventually. And that's a much bigger commitment for most of us, is to decide to go stick burner, because that's something you have to monitor. In order to get that upper echelon barbecue, a stick burner is pretty much required. We can do fantastic things on our pellet smokers and our gas smokers and our electric smokers. You can make fine barbecue that blows your mind, and everybody in the whole house is licking their fingers at the end of the day. Y'all know what I'm talking about. But if you really want to get into the next level, read this book. The way he goes into the science of what makes the wood quality-wise, what allows wood to create different flavors, what allows wood to burn at different temps and different times, and how fast it's going to burn and how that's going to affect your cook. He breaks all that down. He also goes into the history of Texas barbecue. I didn't know that it comes from a German community. And that's why if you go to Texas, almost all of the barbecue joints close at like 3 in the afternoon. You're like, wait a minute, that's crazy. I usually done eat my barbecue and we have it at 7 o'clock at night over here in Alabama. But the history behind it, with it being like this German, Czech background, was that the barbecue was considered to be such a heavy meal that it was consumed for lunch. That's the reason that barbecue is so popular around lunchtime in Texas is because that's just a tradition that started late 1800s, early 1900s, and then just carried over into modern day. And that's just something I learned in this book. And there's so much to talk about what he goes over, that, you know, I'm not going to try to relay all that to you. What I am trying to relay to you is that this is a great book and that it is a source of information, a source of inspiration. He also goes down and breaks down the percentages of like what he puts in his rubs, which is mostly salt and pepper because it's Texas barbecue. He goes into the ratios, he goes into like what grit size on his salt and pepper that he prefers that creates the best bark for him. All those sorts of things. You get rub recipes for beef, for pork ribs, for chicken, breakdowns through the cooking processes of how to prepare those things. Reading this book, I just feel, you know, I came out a better barbecue cooker myself, you know. I highly recommend it. It's also, if you do get the audiobook, which is how I did it, I listen while I drive, and, you know, it lets you learn stuff while you're driving, and so I'm not the most free time having guy between the channel, my job, 2 kids, wife, you know, the house, the property. I have very little free time. So reading is something that is a rare delicacy for me, and I have learned to pick through this and, you know, be able to reference certain things. But it definitely will light a fire in you as far as loving barbecue even more than you do now. He also has a great section in the book where he talks about convection and how to build your own pit. And there's drawings and a few diagrams that teaches you, you know, as heat moves across the meat, what happens and how to get a straight draw as opposed to an upward draw, and how to buffer, and it's a whole art form. Barbecue is nothing more than an art form. And just like someone who works at the art form of, say, painting, you know, the more they work at it, the better they get, the more they develop their techniques, the more that you work and develop at becoming a barbecue master, the more that you will develop your art form, and you will get better results, just like an artist doing painting. And so I want you to make sure that you consider this. If not, you know, I'll reference it every once in a while on the channel, and you'll hear me sharing some facts and figures while I'm making content. And a lot of it is coming from this book. A lot of it's coming from other content creators that I learned from, like Malcolm Reed or Matt Pittman. Those guys over there at How to Barbecue Right and Meat Church, you know, they're great sources of information as well. But I like to make sure that I've got a diverse opinion. I don't like to get my techniques and my strategies and all of that sort of stuff from one source, because one source might be single-minded. And you want to, you know, make sure that you're getting your information about your barbecue from a diverse source so that you can develop your own techniques, so that you can develop your own flavors, your own textures to the way that you like it. Aaron Franklin's Barbecue Manifesto, I highly recommend it. Make sure you check it out. I'll leave a link to this book on Amazon down below. That'll be an affiliate link. It won't cost you anything extra. But if you do decide to purchase this book to improve yourself as a barbecue pitmaster, you might make me a few cents. But thanks everybody for watching today. Make sure that y'all smash that like button. And if you're not a subscriber already, become a subscriber to my channel, because, you know, we're always teaching you how to make better barbecue here at American Smoke. So thank you so much for watching, and I'll see y'all in the next video.